Hey, what up, everybody? Steve Breach coming to you. I wanted to make sure everybody knows on Saturday, clear your schedules. There's going to be an awesome Bitch and Shimmer show this weekend. Molly Holly's going to be debuting her new nun gimmick. This is going to go over pretty big. She's going over against the Amazing Kong. Make sure you order that iPay-per-view. Make sure you order your DVDs, but it's going to be good. Shimmer. If you've never seen it, check that out. It's the best thing I can do for it. I heard a pretty awesome call-in to the Brian and Vinny show, putting it over, so I wanted to make sure I passed it on to you guys. In this video, I wanted to be talking about the Wrestlemania snubs from this year. Every year, if you watch SportsCenter a lot, if you pay attention around the All-Star break for either basketball or for football, they like to talk about the guys that got snubbed from the All-Star game, and a lot of times guys, will come back in the second half stronger, to sort of like prove to their sport that they got left out, and that they should have been on that All-Star team, and they deserve that ring and the bonus money and all that comes along with it. WrestleMania to me is like the Super Bowl or the World Series. It sort of like ends the year and then you restart over for the next year. So maybe these guys will come back next year like it's a new season, and they'll come back stronger than ever. First guy, honestly, is the biggest snub is Claudio from ROH, who wrestles. There is the United States champion. I guess I haven't been able to dump his whole ROH gimmick, but I think he's he won the belt back at SummerSlam, and he's been a guy that, once they put the title on him, once they built him up, they like to let him put some guys over. We've seen him lose to Randy Orton, R-Truth, Chris Jericho, and The Miz in non-title matches a few times. But he's been on a few pay-per-views here or there. They just put out their first t-shirt. I saw a lot of people doing unboxings, pulling that very European shirt out. I'm sure they'll be selling a lot of those shirts at the Wrestlemania store in New Jersey at the MetLife Stadium. So hopefully they'll recognize that, he is a talent that they want to get around. He's one of the guys that flew through FCW the fastest. He sort of signed with ROH, went there for a couple months, and they said, shit, dude, you're already ready. Pumped him out on TV. He was sort of like, I don't know, I can't remember what his SmackDown gimmick was. I just remember that I was glad that he started wrestling because it wasn't that fun. And he had Oksana with him for a while, and then he dumped Oksana out of the middle of nowhere. Just went on a solo act. He's not waving the big American flag anymore, which I was a big mark for. But it is what it is. But I think he's one of the best guys they have on there. He fits the WB build, and I'm sure he'll be moving on up in the ranks in the upcoming year. Especially if they keep him over on SmackDown. Sometimes guys get a little hot, and they bump him over to Raw, and then it becomes Jobville after that. But we'll have to see. John Cena needs somebody to face, and I'm sure that we'll be seeing that match sooner than later, and I know that it'll deliver. Second one is a guy that I've been talking about a whole lot, and I haven't talked about in the years that I've been on YouTube that much because I'm not a big star of him, but Kofi Kingston. This guy is he has a pretty big following in WB. I would say if you asked a lot of the kids, who their favorite guys are, a lot of people are going to say Boom Boom, Kofi Kingston, so on and so forth. He's been the U.S. champion. He's been the tag champion. He's been the Intercontinental champion. Hasn't really been able to break through. But honestly, this guy, to me, deserves WrestleMania. Even though I'm not a big fan of him, I know he would step up and deliver, and I'm not really sure if he could have a WrestleMania moment, but I'm sure he could have a damn good match, especially if you put him up in the U.S., like make a U.S. title match and just put it on the pre-show. I'm not going to praise the pre-show because, honestly, I don't think a lot of people are going to be paying attention. It's not like when you get the DVD, most people even watch the pre-show. So it is what it is, but he deserves something because this guy all year long, he's been on almost every Raw, every SmackDown. I'm sure he's been on more than 3/4 of the pay-per-views, even in matches that, that are just sort of thrown on there. But, I mean, this guy delivers. Kofi Kingston, honestly, I would be asking a few questions on what my plans are in the upcoming years, if I'm not on this WrestleMania card. I know he's sort of hurting because they took the Money in the Bank off the last few years. He was a late throw-in to WrestleMania 27, if you can remember as well. They had to take out Kozlov from the Team SmackDown team to face the Core. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Last year at 28... whatever the hell you did, it wasn't that important. I guess you were on the team, Teddy Long team, I guess. I don't honestly really remember seeing you there, but you probably were there, maybe, I guess. But, if you remember back, he's had a whole lot of the Money in the Bank spots over the last few years. So Money in the Bank spot at WrestleMania sure would be pretty good. Next two guys are going to be the primetime players. Two of the guys that I think they were pushing really, really strong. Everybody remembers they had to fire Abraham Washington, which honestly I thought was the strongest part of their team. You know, when he was out there doing the promos during the matches over the loudspeaker, I thought that was pretty cool, something that we'd never seen before. But he made the Kobe Bryant comment, and he got fired. And I thought maybe that would be the end of these guys. But I've honestly started to like these guys more that Abraham took off. I mean, that's just me. They deliver good tag team matches. They don't ever really get behind them to push these guys. But then again, the tag division isn't the strongest it's been in a few years. It looked pretty good a couple of months ago, but they sort of disbanded all the teams that weren't teams. And Team Hell No still has the titles, and they're fighting another team at Wrestlemania that just sort of got thrown together at Big E and Dolph. So, I don't know. I mean, if I was somebody that was trying to break into WWE, I honestly would find a guy that really wanted to be a tag team wrestler, because I honestly think if you're a tag team and you can do it, you're honestly going to get pushed to the top pretty fast, because they need real tag teams that are going to be there. Everybody wants to be a single star, but honestly, everybody really can't, hack it. You got to have spots for certain guys, and I think the primetime players are really going to have a move in the upcoming year. They released their first T-shirt finally. I was really hoping something that would be fan-friendly. But the T-shirt they came out with, even though I really want to buy it because I really want to support these guys, I don't think I will ever wear it because I don't think I'm cool enough to pull it off. Quote that. Next one. This is a team that I'm not really a big fan of, but I love tag team wrestling. They're always on Superstars. You know, they're always in the dark matches. They're on the road all the time. WWE's always using them and putting them over. The Usos. These guys, they do have a fan base. If you ask, that people will say they're not their favorite guys, but they do enjoy their matches. I honestly always think back to what would have happened when these guys debuted. I believe they were coming out and they were doing the run-ins on the Hart Dynasty, who were the tag champions at the time. One of the Usos couldn't jump up and stay on the damn top rope. Like he'd fall off week after week, and I don't know if that's what hurt them or what, but they never won those tag titles. They ended up switching their gimmick to not being like the guys that steal from you and take this and that. They also lost their manager, Tamina, somehow, just magically just took off. I don't remember how that happened, but honestly, I think, that cleans up the snubs. I mean, like, I can't think of anybody else not being used. I think your U.S. champion, I think your Kofi Kingston, and your tag division all need to be really bumped up in the upcoming year. Those are the guys that are left off. If you can think of anybody else that I haven't brought up, just let me know in the comment section below, or send me a tweet over at @StevieBreach. But it's going to be a good day, guys. Let's see what the upcoming year brings. Let's see what WrestleMania is about. Sunday's approaching us, and we'll see what happens. Peace out.